This is like much more than just building a bike. The one thing you touched upon, I would love for you to elaborate on this. No one knows the culture of moto better than Twitch. He's been iconic and transcended culture from moto to streetwear to now his own brand, and now he's the host of one of the fastest growing podcasts. He's also one of our best athletes for Jaxxon and Santo Studio. Talk to me about the dynamic, the look of the bike, the feeling. You mentioned this. It's so important to have a bike that looks good because that can kill it. You've always been one to have the sickest setup, sickest gear. Talk to me about the bike because I want to hear your thoughts on that, on why you think it looks so good and why you think it's making impact. It's
just the whole look of the bike. Like you said, it needs to be futuristic looking. It needs to be different. It needs to be better than what's out there. And I think you guys killed it with that. Like 100%, it's one of the best looking bikes out there. I see Patrick at my house every single day, and I just look at the bike. I'm like, dude, every time I look at it, I see something different. I'm like, oh, that's dope. I'm like, oh, that's sick too. Like, so for me, looking at it all the time, I'm like, I think you guys killed it. Did a great job. I think it's insane. And Ritter actually brought one over one day. He brought over like 6 of them, and we all went trail riding one day. Cool. And it was like right after it got done raining. It wasn't really wet. Like I wouldn't really go trail ride and have fun, but I was like, I wanted to give this bike a try. And we went out and rode it, and I've never had so much fun trail riding in my life before, just because like how smooth the power was. Like there were spots that we've always had like dissed up, like right next to people that have horses or cows or like all that, and like you could never get away with riding there. We sat there for 45 minutes and made the sickest turn track ever in the best dirt, and no one even knew we were there. Amazing. So like not to have the noise and like all that, like I was like, man, I'm like you said, there's so many places getting shut down and so many people that have land and want to ride but they can't because their neighbors are going to complain. Like that right there for me was like, I'm like, man, this is the future. Like people, like sometimes Patrick will call me on the weekend. He's like, hey, can I ride your house? I'm like, go for it. Taco will call me, hey, can I ride your house on the weekend? I'm like, no, I don't want my neighbors getting pissed off. When Patrick comes over and rides my house on the weekends, no one knows he's even there. Yeah. You hear the ramp go, but that's it. Yeah. So it's definitely, the noise is definitely a big thing, especially in Southern California. Like you get so many people that complain about anything. I hear your dirt bike, I'm offended. You know what I mean? So it's like to not have that is like definitely a key thing. People want to find
reasons to get annoyed, that's for sure.
And like, I don't know. Like I remember I was going down the street and I was like, oh, I'm going to see what this 80 horsepower is about. I was probably already doing like 20, 30 miles an hour. So I turned it up to 80 horsepower. Or I think Ritter had it set on the button where I could hit the other map and it would go to that one. And I hit it on that one. I did a burnout for like 300 yards, like a football field. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, and then I'm just going as fast as I can. And to me, the weirdest thing was going as fast as the bike can. I don't know how fast the bike actually goes, but I remember looking down and seeing like 110 or 111. And I'm like, it's just silent. I just hear the wind. And I'm like, oh my God, if I crash right now, this is going to be really bad. Like,